Hello and welcome to the Series 10 panel discussion of Smile, and I'm here today with Shay Kelliher, Claire O'Shea, and because the other person who was meant to be on today hasn't responded to any of my messages, we've got Jerry back again.
I'm so happy to be here. Get it? Happy. Happy, Clara.
Be happy! Be happy!
There's no Clara in this one, Jerry. You're going to have to change it to Bill.
Let's face it though. I mean, Capaldi looks in fucking pain.
Oh, it's great.
No,
he looks in pain. That's why the whole thing in this episode works really well, just because the Doctor looks in pain, smiling.
He does.
So anyway, let's get this on the road. Let's get this on the road rather than having a 15-minute ramble like we did last time. So the Doctor and Bill, what did you think about that in this story?
Disappointing. There was no chips.
There was only cubes of jelly.
There was a reference. There was a reference to chips. So
was there? I blinked and missed that.
She said,
the jelly was fish flavored.
She's like, you saved me from having enough chips, and now I'm saving you.
Okay, so Jerry, there was chips. What's your new thoughts on it?
And my thoughts now are, Shay, why the fuck are you collecting a compendium to the amount of fucking chip references in this series? Why not? But realistically, no, I'm sad.
That's fresh in my mind. It's Bill and the Doctor have some good chemistry, I'd say. Bill's just probably the first good companion since Donna.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And Capaldi's actually consistent so far this series because God knows what was going on in Series 9.
But I also think
that's all I can say.
With Capaldi's consistency is that Capaldi is a really great actor, but how well you're able to act is very dependent on the quality of writing you're given. And last season, at least I personally feel that it wasn't very consistent. The quality of the stories wasn't consistent.
No, but the thing is with Capaldi, his
was all over the place.
Go on, Shay.
I was just saying the character was all over the place. One minute he was trying to be really dark, and the next, Dr. Disco. And then, fuck.
But the thing is with Capaldi's style of acting, he is a really good actor, but what he does best is kind of shouty, angry, manipulative man like he was in Series 8. He does not do the kind of, I'm Matt Smith Light, like he was trying to do in Series 9. Because he just can't do that kind of bouncy, upbeat, cringy kind of stuff well.
Look at me, I'm whimsical.
I didn't like it that much when Matt Smith did it, but at least Matt Smith as an actor could pull it off. And it's not Capaldi's fault, it's just he's been given the completely wrong material for what he's good at. But this series, they seem to have found a happy medium where it works fairly well, at least so far.
Yeah,
yes.
I'd agree with that.
I agree with you on that.
Hopefully so, and we'll see more of it in the future. And it won't take a ton for the worst.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's what we're all hoping for.
The next episode doesn't fuck it up, which, hey, there's time.
No, there's plenty of time. We've got 10 episodes.
There's plenty of time for it to be fucked up.
Oh, man.
Is Mark Gatiss writing an episode this series?
Empress of Mars.
Ah, fuck, then we're all screwed.
We're all screwed.
Oh, come on, sometimes his scripts are at least somewhat fun.
Yeah, you can tell he has a lot of fun writing them, if only we had as much fun watching them.
Well, it's just Robots of Sherwood and Invaders from Mars, they're quite good. But it's just, he's never wrote a script that's actually really good. They're always just fun or shit.
Like, the best quality stories of his are just not bothersome or average. There's never one that's really kind of stood out as, hey, my favorite episode of the season, or rather series, was this episode by Mark Gatiss. I've never heard anybody say that.
Yeah.
My favorite episode of Series 7 is probably Crimson Horror, but I haven't seen it in ages.
Yeah, but that's just because Series 7's really shit, so it just makes Mark Gatiss' scripts look comparatively good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Series 7 was shit.
But back on track, anyway, because we went on a bit of a tangent. Bill, I'm really impressed with where she's going so far. I really like Pearl McKee as an actor, and it looks like a good character so far. Really enjoying it. She's not too big for her own boots still. She's still just a normal person.
But as we've said, there's still plenty of time for her to fill those boots with some some cheesy Moffat ego.
It's true.
Can't wait for it.
But there hasn't been any pretentious dialogue so far, so...
I mean, not yet. I mean, she's been pretty down to earth so far, which is great.
And she hasn't been pawned off as being, I'm special for this or this,
Exactly.
like Amy pawned and Clara were.
Pretty much all of the companions, other than like Donna, have kind of had that in their first episode. So I think it's a good sign that she hasn't had that so far.
There is a plot. What is it? What would you call it? A story arc. That's the one, which may or may not have something to do with Bill. Who knows?
Well, what, you mean the Vault?
Yeah, the Vault. I bet it's like something. I bet it's the Novellans.
Yeah, it's just the Mondasian Cybermen.
Maybe.
Yeah. Considering the importance that the Vault has been given so far, albeit it hasn't been mentioned a lot, but it's basically one of the main reasons why the Doctor kind of has to stay on Earth, even though he doesn't do that.
Can I just... never mind.
With the importance that's been given, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that being part of, if not the base of the series finale.
Well, of course. That's what they always do. Yeah. It's very predictable. Can I just say one moment? Nardole. He somehow managed to have more character in the 10 seconds he had here than in the 3 hours of television he's had previously to this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's keeping the Doctor to his promise of not leaving, and he also hates Bill.
Excellent.
There's no particular reason for him. Like, it's given that, like, he hates Bill, and that's the air that we're getting from him, we're still not really told why.
Yeah,
like,
still got no
if a
motivation.
character hates another character, we should at least know why. Like, you did this or something. Or even like hey, you were sneaking into lectures or something like you shouldn't have been. Or you're tempting the Doctor to go to break his promise or whatever.
I mean, in the previous
we haven't
episode,
been given anything yet.
But in the previous episode, when she came to tell us, like, human alert. So, cause maybe he just doesn't like humans, but again,
you human.
If you want to actually be a good character, you've got to have motivations for things, which Nardole still doesn't have.
Yeah, he doesn't have any of those. And I still don't really understand why Nardole is, like, still there. I mean, keeping the Doctor to his promise, but I mean, like, why is Matt Lucas listed in the opening credits when Nardole just appears for, like, 10 seconds?
Good point.
Get those viewed figures in, that's why.
Yeah, what Jerry said. Anyway, I think we should probably move on to the Emoji Robots now. So what were your thoughts on those?
Oh, everyone smile. Big old
yeah.
Bad
happiness shall prevail.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. But like, let's be honest, when we all heard there were Emoji Robots, no one was more angry than Dylan. And I will also admit, I thought it was terrible as well. I thought it looked terrible. I thought it was going to be the cringiest thing ever. As Jerry so elegantly put it, the year of the emoji is upon us. But they weren't that bad. I sort of like the concept, if I'm honest. And I like the bit where I thought it was fun when the Doctor's like, what's left 1,000 years in the future of your language? And then it's like emoji, and he's like, emojis, of course. I thought it was funny.
Well, I think they were justified in being there due to, like, the themes and the narrative of, like, having false smiles and things like that. They were justified being there, and they weren't that bad, and they had some decent moments. My only issue with them is they're meant to be, like, the main villain of the episode, or kind of the villain. They need to be intimidating, which really was not done well. I did not feel they were threatening at all. And I know they're little, but a good director could kind of make them scary in a perverse kind of way. Like, how in, say, a horror film, you might have a children's toy, like, covered in blood. And, like, even though on the outside it shouldn't look intimidating, it does, because it's, like, perversely scary. That's what they should have done with the Emoji Robots. But they didn't do that, and it just kind of made them not very credible as a threat, especially with how slowly they've walked. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
And, like, as good as Lawrence Goff has been as a director, I feel like somebody who was better could have made them be a lot more intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd just like to say how how beautiful was like the setting. It just looked so.
Yeah, it was luscious.
Yes.
It's so irritating to me that more or less every single episode of Moffat's Doctor Who looks amazing, yet the scripts are less than
Desirable.
Adequate.
desirable. Yes.
Is there any more thoughts on the Emoji Robots, quickly?
I like.
You've already said it, Shay. Give the other two a chance.
I don't like.
They
I
were-
thought the you mentioned the point that they weren't very intimidating, and I agree with you there. Like, the only time where I was even slightly scared of them was the first time their face changed to, like, that death one. And that was, like, the only time I was. And I've also seen things that are, like, a lot scarier and intimidating than this. So, yeah. And another
I really liked
thing...
it at the beginning where the woman's telling, like, I don't know, is it her sister or something, that like all the members of their family are dead, and she's
Yeah.
like you have to smile, keep smiling. She's like, why are you saying this? How can you say these incredibly stupid things while smiling? I thought that was a really good sort of like opening to the whole episode.
I like that scene, but my problem is it shouldn't have been at the start because it kind of removed a layer of the mystery. Like, if they had had that scene, the Doctor watching it on a tape, like afterwards on the CCTV, that would have been better because it kind of removed a bit of the mystery when they came there, which I thought was a bit of an issue.
See if you're not into this sort of thing as well. See if you're just a casual tuning in. I fancy watching Doctor Who tonight, and you tune in, you see that, you're like, right, what is going on? What? It's not really inviting towards
Jerry,
casual.
judging by the viewing figures.
It was that opening scene was a good way to open it in the ways of getting attention and stuff. And when it comes to viewership, is really what matters, getting them hooked so they'll watch it through. But to people who watch it more so religiously, the point that you made, Dylan, would make more sense with that.
I'm talking from an objective point of view. I'm not talking from the point of view of the person who's trying to rake in the views. I'm talking from the point of view as how is it good as a piece of fiction. That's what I'm going for there. So anyway,
I can definitely see the pros to having them in either place. I mean, having that scene at the beginning, while it does take away from the mystery, it's good. It's eye catching, and it gets your attention and makes you want to watch a bit more.
Well, I understand
to see,
that,
like,
but
what are these robots up to?
I understand that, but I don't like looking at things from that angle because obviously that's the angle that the person who's trying to sell it takes, not the angle that the person who's trying to consume it takes.
Just a hater,
well, I mean,
come on.
I think we can all agree it's definitely a massive step up from Cottrell-Boyce's last effort, and the word put in very large quotation marks for the series, which was less than good.
All right, so the plot. So what did you think of the plot on the whole then?
At least it had one.
Unlike in the Forest of the Night.
Yeah, at least it had one.
Like, in the Forest of the Night was, there are trees everywhere now. Now there are no trees everywhere. The ends.
But I did like the plot. It was... I did like... I mean, the whole thing about... what was it? The robots are supposed to make you happy, and because they don't understand...
spreading like a plague.
Yeah, that was really... I thought that was a really good idea.
Yeah.
And I liked the idea of using the like dead people as fertilizer for the flowers. I thought that was really creepy
that
as well.
Creepy. That was like the creepiest thing in the episode. I'll give it
But
that.
I think everything sort of went downhill when all the people wake up.
Well, you see, I agree with you there because that's the issue. This felt like part one of a two-part story. Like the part one is working out what's happening, and then everybody's waking up, and the second part is actually, fighting to, resolve the plot. Which we'll not talk about the ending right now because we're talking about that next.
The fact that everyone is waking up could have been like a really good cliffhanger. Like, oh god, this isn't the skeleton crew. Everyone is here right now, and then next time on Doctor Who.
The thing is, this was a greatly paced episode right until the ending because Doctor Who does need those two episodes. As I said, we'll talk about the ending next, after we talk about the plot. But just Doctor Who is a show that needs more time to develop than most shows, just because they've got to set up a new world, a new set of characters, a new plot, every story. And this is another instance of why 45 minutes just doesn't cut it for most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to elaborate on to a point that Jerry made earlier, how he said that how the robots use the different emojis and stuff to track satisfaction, and how it went further with something with the robots went wrong or developed further or whatever that explanation was, that it saw when humans were with the grief, it being a plague, and then when they perceived that the humans were specific humans were becoming too sad to continue living, while it was a bit, I'm not sure what the right word for that is, but it kind of goes into almost the territory of mercy killing.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was fairly interesting.
Cheeky.
But Dylan, you say about the time thing, because they have to establish whole new settings and everything. But I was just thinking, because I don't know if any of you have seen Inside Number 9, but that is it's a really good British show where every episode is like a new cast, like not a new cast, but like a new setting, a new story, and they're only half an hour. And with season 1 of Black Mirror, Charlie Brooker does the same. So I'm wondering if it's not just a question of they don't have.
Are they all set on Earth in a contemporary setting?
Yes,
then
but
there
I
you
was
go.
Say,
Doctor Who's different than that. It's not contemporary
settings.
But there's a lot more to establish.
Is it not time, but is it the way that Doctor Who works as a show?
That's what I'm saying. It is the way Doctor Who works as a show.
Yeah, so
because it doesn't just go to different territories on Earth. It goes to different planets and has to world build in addition to moving the plot forward.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
And characterizing, which is a lot more demanding, especially when you have to dedicate so much time to world building. So maybe something that could be done is more world building could be given with shots. Like they're walking through things and there's some few things on the wall that give hints to things while the characters are talking about what's going on there to help to drive the plot. So maybe there's also more of an issue with needing to combine things to work how you shoot this frame and what you include in the setting for this. In this particular scene.
The best episodes of New Who are the most minimalistic ones, like Dalek, Midnight, Blink.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to think of another good episode.
Because that's the only way you can fit everything in, by having a completely minimalist plot. Otherwise, there's no way. It's too short a time.
Because I think Stu Bagfull put it really well, where he's like, in the classic show, first episode you set up stuff and you hint, and then second episode is more development, third episode's more development, fourth episode payoff, ending. But with New Who, with 45 minutes, it's like, oh, we're here, there's something going on, oh, what's going on, oh, this is going on, okay, we fixed it, bye, and then credits. And there's just not enough time for anything to properly work.
Yeah, I agree with that.
10 out of 10, 10 out of 10.
Anyway, let's move on to the ending then, because that is one of the most contentious points about this episode that people are bringing up. So, do your thing.
Well, the ending. I mean, none of us are going to be surprised anymore with how many times New Who has done the classic sonic screwdriver fixes everything technique. But
did you switch it on and off?
Yeah.
But I think. It turned into a bit of the IT crowd. No, but I feel like...
so they need to make like a YouTube group of that, where like Capaldi's like saying, oh, we've got to stop this, and it's like, have you tried switching it on and off?
And Bill looks an awful lot like Moss. Coincidence? Anyway, but, I mean, this one wasn't as... this one wasn't as unsatisfactory as others. I don't know. Maybe it's just because, for some reason, I did like this episode.
Well, I think it made more sense than, say, for example, Power of Three, because in that, he just waves the device that emits sound waves to blow up an entire alien fleet. Well, that's just ridiculous. Whereas here, it made sense, like, that he was pressing to reset and blank the memories. But just because it made sense doesn't mean it's good. because it was completely anticlimactic. It just feels like the build-up we went through was just a complete waste of time. It was just a complete abrupt end. Like, the plot was finally getting going. Like, think of it as a train. It's just pulling out the station. It starts going really fast, and then it just stops instantly. Obviously the audience is going to get propelled forwards, like the people in the train, because of the G-force.
That train being the one at the very start of Black Ops Episode 1.
So, yeah, sorry for the really shitty analogy, but there you go.
Indeed.
Yeah, the ending did feel like a bit of a cop-out. It was building momentum, and it did, like, near the end, when the people were starting to wake up and all that, it seemed like almost some kind of a showdown between them was coming up. But then it was like, hey, the doctor just said, hey, I'll be your negotiator, let's negotiate, and then he went away. And that was the end of the episode.
Yeah, very poor, but you can't blame the writer. It's definitely the time format here, which is a shame.
True.
I feel like most writers just decide that that they don't have enough time to do everything they want, and something's going to have to suffer. And I think a lot of them would rather that they get a really good build-up and a lot of tension, and well, not tension, but like the story works well, and then have a pretty awful ending than have.
Basically, in New Who, you've got three choices. You got three choices. You either go full minimalist, or you have a really good build-up but really crap ending. Or you just make it a complete mess trying to fit lots of things in.
Yeah. The best example of the second one.
You said there was three. What's the third option?
I said the first one was minimalist.
Oh, you said there was three options.
Yeah, I know. I said three options.
No, you didn't.
Dylan.
Oh, yeah, you did. Two of them just seemed like they were crushed together.
I feel like the best example of the episode with a good build-up and awful resolution is, as you said, Power of Three.
Yeah, that's always the prime example for both 45-minute syndrome and the sonic screwdriver being overused, and for good reason.
I love it. Yeah, but Rory in his pants, though. We all love him.
True.
There's police at the door, and I'm in my pants.
And I missed the opportunity to say that by being someone else. That was an interesting episode, and it had a good start, but as you said, it did fall. And that, once again, as you said, Power of Three is a prime example.
At the end of the day, Smile left me thinking that they just used it more as a device to say, look, we're developing the Doctor and Bill's character development, their relationship, rather than just telling a good story. I mean, it was good, but it needed a lot more time to actually do that. I mean, in that aspect, they've succeeded in...
Yeah.
Establishing there.
Talking about the ending, it's been a while since we've had a thing where two episodes just lead directly into each other.
Yeah.
I remember the Capaldi episode happening, apart from two-parters.
Yeah, I saw on Twitter there was a picture where it had, it was in black and white, and it had next episode Thin Ice and, the Hartnell text.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen that as well.
Yeah,
I saw one except because you know how the ending is with an elephant.
Yeah, it's the arc. It's the arc.
Yeah, I saw one where someone had done that, but the next episode Thin Ice, except they just put a picture of this time an elephant showed up at the Blue Peter studio and Peter Purvis is standing next to it.
Brilliant. So anyway, let's wrap up. So overall thoughts on the episode.
Do we mark it out of 10?
Of course, go on, Shay.
I thought it was a little better than the pilot. Basically, if I have to describe it, I'd describe it as if the Happiness Patrol and the Ark in Space had a love child with learning difficulties, and I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
A bit generous there. I'd give it a 6.
Claire?
Overall, I thought it was okay. It had a really good build-up, and it had an interesting plot, but the ending was a bit of a cop. It was a cop-out, and it should have been a two-parter. Let's just give it that.
Yeah.
But considering the ending was more due to the time constraint and not the writer not being capable of giving it a better ending. So with that, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10.
Well, I can't really add anything of what you said. You pretty much just took all the words out of my mouth. So I'd probably say 6 out of 10 as well.
Well, I can see I'm not wanted here.
What?
Exactly.
No, it's not that you're not wanted here. You said, because, me as a genius, the fact that you were able to say what I would say just shows your intellectual prowess is increasing.
Shut up.
All right, then. Hey, let's.
Are you saying I'm
break your
not? Are you saying I'm not smart?
No, I'm saying you
I
are
am
smart.
offended.
I have made you smart. I have made you into what you are
Dylan.
today.
Get your facts
Dylan,
right, Nuvian.
Dylan, don't break your arm trying to jerk yourself off, all right?